Hello viewers, welcome to Talk with Scholars, Edition 1. I am Vishnu Priyaji, representing IEEE Computer Society Kerala Chapter Women in Computing. And here we have V. Nikita, a computer science and engineering undergrad, who is the 2022 SW intern at Google and an upcoming SWE intern at Atlasia. So welcome Nikita. So I hope you have been doing well. And so let's get rolling. So Google is a dream company, right? When you're like from childhood, your parents, like, though they're not be aware of a lot of companies, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, all these are like, what do you say, like golden opportunities in minds of a lot of people. So how did you prepare your journey, or what motivated you to to apply for the internship, or to specifically choose Google?
So like everyone else who is aspiring to be a software engineer, my Google was also my dream company. So when I was in class 8, that was the time when I decided that I want to be a software engineer. And when we talk about software engineering, for a kid, for a 14, 15-year-old kid, the name that first comes up is Google. And that's where it started, the passion to be a software engineer and the passion to work at Google. So when I started college, one of my senior told me about this opportunity called the software step internship. So they have a software and the hardware edition. So I was more concerned about the software edition. So a senior told me about that, and she told me that the application procedure roughly begins in November. So November is the month when I joined college, and she told me that Nikita, you have 1 year to prepare yourself for this. And if Google is your dream company, then this is the way you have to get into Google. That will open up a lot of opportunities for you, and this is how you should get started. So that is when I started my preparation. I made multiple plans of studying DSA. I read a lot of Medium articles on written by people who have already cracked this internship, and that was a process of one entire year where I was continuously preparing myself for this particular internship program.
So, this while applying for this, there will obviously be a resume. You might have applied using your resume. There is obviously a CV section. So, what exactly do you think are the crucial details of a resume to get selected for companies like Google, or Google in specific? Or what do you think in your case was the highlights of your resume that made you feel like, okay, this is my domain, or this is my chance to grab this opportunity and they will be selecting me?
So we cannot really say what companies look for in the resume, but there are a few basic things that we can, keep in a resume so that companies can shortlist us. So the first thing that I made sure was to have a clear, uniform resume format. I heard a lot about ATS friendly resume formats, and when I looked more about it, I found out that okay, your resume needs to be in an ATS friendly format. And that's when I went to Overleaf and I looked for templates, and I made a resume on Overleaf using latex. So that is one key point, I guess. So whenever a person will look at your resume, there should not be any additional information, only the relevant information, and just a normal single page resume. And apart from that, I think there were a few highlights of my resume. The first thing was definitely Talent Sprint Women Engineer Scholarship, which is also supported by Google. So I was one among the 200 Talent Sprint Women Engineers scholars. So this is a scholarship program for the first year students, and that really increases your chance of getting into Google. So yeah, that was one point. And apart from that, I mentioned my projects and my coding profiles, my ranks in various coding competitions, including a code jam IO for women. So I think these are a few points that really help my resume to stand out.
First of all, congratulations for achieving this scholarship. and that was a very relevant information, and I'm pretty sure it will be helpful to a lot of people, because a lot of people, when I have also, when I have conversed with them, whenever they need to apply for something, they're like, I don't have a resume, I don't know what to do exactly when it, when it comes to resume, because like you said, there is not like a one format, but there are obviously certain key factors, but the in terms with Google itself, like you said, a lot of factors that have high probability of getting their chances of increasing their chances of selection. So that was a very useful information. Now coming into the rounds, you know, of the pre-internship phase, there are like two technical rounds. So can you explain in detail about it?
Okay, so the first and foremost round that everyone has to go through is the resume shortlisting round, which goes by default. So you need to apply it to the career portal and then you have to submit your resume, and that's shortlisted. So once your resume is shortlisted, a few people had the telephonic interview round. I applied since I had a women engineers scholarship on my resume. I did not have to go through the telephonic interview round. I was directly called in for the interviews. So there were two rounds of technical interviews. Okay, first let me tell you about the telephonic interview round. So it was a brief 20 to 30-minute call where where only theoretical questions related to programming were asked, maybe questions like time complexities and how algorithm works, and space complexities, and just generic stuff like that. And after that, we had our two technical interviews. Each interview was about 45 minutes to 1 hour, and we were asked one or maybe two questions at maximum. I was asked two questions in each interview. So the questions were purely DSA based, and yeah, the questions were on various topics like dynamic programming, and a few of my peers were asked questions on graphs, questions on binary trees, so that really varies.
Okay, so most of the students, they generally face a problem during the coding rounds. How did you tackle them, or what was your like source of preparation?
Like every other person, even I would say that practice is the key. The more questions you practice, the more you will be able to perform better in your interviews. That being said, another important factor is that how well you communicate your code. So writing code is not enough. You need to explain that code. You need to be able to explain your logic and your thinking abilities to the interviewer. That is one major portion of the interview, apart from writing the code and getting this correct syntax. So yeah, being able to express what you are thinking and then converting that into code is a major thing. So I had given a lot of mock interviews. I had prepared enough questions. I had solved previous year step internship questions, like if people had written in their blogs or something about the questions that they had got, I had solved all of them. So I think, yeah, these were the few things that really helped me to prepare for the interview.
Thank you for explaining that, Nikita. So now we are past the pre-internships phase, and you have become an intern at Google. You have achieved, the first step to your dream job. So what is it like to be an intern at Google? What was your domain of work, and how has it helped you evolve as an engineer?
This is one question where I can really talk a lot. I have a lot of stuff to share from my internship period because um, Google as a company is like it's an experience, and being I'm really fortunate that I was able to experience that work environment, the work culture, and being able to interact with different googlers all around the world. So one thing I really liked was how open people were to suggestions and how open people were to have a discussion with you. So at any time I could drop a text to any random Googler from all around the world, asking them to have a Gmeet, and they would be ready to, discuss about their life. So during my 3 months of internship period, I not only met interns, who were working with me, but I also met a lot of full-time employees who were working at Google since 12 years, 15 years, and not only from India but just right across the world. So that helped me learn and understand how Google has evolved as a company right from the beginning to now, and what differs, in work culture around the world. And it doesn't, it's all the same. No matter which country you go to, the environment is still very warm, positive, and a great place to work at, basically. Talking about the project that I worked on, it was an internal tool. um, and my project revolved around Java. So it was a front end plus back end project, and I had to code in Java. That was the basic, that was the main language that we used. Before my internship, I did not know Java, and Java was something that I learned during my internship period. I did know Java, but that was just the basics. But in my internship period, I learned a lot of new things, and there was it was just a whole lot of learning involved. Along with that, I had to, like, after I had completed my project, we had to have a project presentation where we presented our project to our team, which works like in the entire APAC region. So all of the interns who are working in the entire APAC region came together to present their projects. So that was another great place for networking, and we did have a lot of fun events throughout my internship period. So it was informative, and it was also fun. It was a great experience in total.
Thank you for sharing the highlights and about the project you worked on. And I think that will act even as a great motivator for people to hustle for such internships. So you're talking about you learned a lot of new things during the internship, and the key element was learning. So how do you keep up with the latest developments in technology? And can you give me an example of something you've learned recently that you found interesting?
Learning is just continuous process, and technology is something that is growing every day. Every day there is something new that's coming up, and there's something new to learn. So keeping up with technology, I think, is a little bit difficult, but obviously you cannot keep up with all the developments. Like, you cannot keep learning every new thing that keeps coming up, but yeah, you can try to just get the knowledge of what's happening. So one thing that I recently learned, I would say, is like, we all know about Chat GPT, right? So when
Yes.
Chat GPT came out, the my interest in artificial intelligence and machine learning did grow a little bit. So I had a friend who is working on machine learning projects. So one day I just randomly decided to sit with him and try to see what he's doing. So when I was trying to see what he was doing and what kind of models he's building, I did come to know about a few algorithms that he was using, a few specific type of models that he was using, and that really built my interest. So, like, this is for me, a learning is, I do not like separately sit with stuff, and I am not like, okay, I have to learn this now, I will be starting this. So it's not like that. If someone is working on something, I'll just randomly go there and try to see what they are doing, and I do get a little bit insight from that, and if I find it interesting, I will obviously look more about it, and I'll learn about it.
That's a great way of approach to learning, learning through observation and then applying your own knowledge and practice to perfect that learning. So you have worked at Google, and as a person who you're intrigued, as you say, you're intrigued in AIML, do you think ChatGPT is a threat to Google?
ChatGPT is, in my opinion, process all the information answers, right? So, when we talk about Google, ChatGPT gives you just a specific part of the information, which may or may not be relevant. But when we are looking for answers, we would like to know different sources. We would like to know different opinions. That's how it goes for me. If I'm looking for something, I would want to know on different websites what it says. If I'm looking for a specific piece of information, I would definitely go to ChatGPT. But if I want to know more about things, if I want a detailed descriptive information, I would definitely go for Google. And I do find it a little more reliable because since childhood, Google is something that I've used.
That's a pretty insightful response. So, as we would, go through, like, when you take you as a person, you're a management lead at Google Development Student Club in your college. You have worked on an internship at Google. You're going to work on an internship at Lacia. You have been the sponsorship coordinator for Girl Script Foundation. You have been hustling through so many projects and so many things at once. So what do you think? How do you manage your time and prioritize tasks when working on multiple projects and dealing with the hustle that engineering is along with your academics?
I did have my share of struggles when I was trying to hustle on different things. So, in my entire first and I guess half of my second year, I was this person who wanted to do everything at once and I wanted to excel at everything. So, that was me. But I did go through a very bad phase of burnout where I wasn't able to do even the important things just because I had so much on my plate. And that's when I decided that I had to clear out my schedule. And I just started taking only the important things. And the point of prioritization has been a very important part of my time management strategy. So try to do the stuff that is more important first. So suppose if I have something college related, and currently I am running a open source program called JGC Winter of Code. So I have an entire team and I'm leading the team there. So that is a high priority thing for me right now. If I'm able to delegate my work to someone else, I will do that. But if that's not possible, then that would be a priority. So if I have some college work which is a little less important, so I would just keep it aside for a moment and I would do what is necessary. So this is how I just rank my ongoing activities in like according to their priority, and I just do the high priority things first.
As a person who have been through that burnout phase of taking up everything, that was actually really a helpful response for me personally, and I think it will help, like, students all over the world, who are hustling extracurriculars along with their academics, and it will help what you really need to prioritize and how you prioritize and multitask at the same time. So that was a great response. So you're you're going to be an upcoming software engineering intern at Lacia. So we are all aware about Google. Can you brief about, like, especially a lot of people aren't aware about what Atlasia is as a company. So could you give me a brief description about the company and the domain that you're going to work on?
So Atlassian is a company that mainly focuses on building software on collaborative products. So have you heard about Jira and Trello? These are the two famous products that Atlassian makes.
I think I've heard about Azira. Yes.
Yes, so Jira and Trello are the two, like Trello is something that I've used, Jira I haven't used. Uh, Trello is something that helps you to schedule tasks. It was something like that. So this is majorly for teams who want to collaborate. So Atlassian makes products that help collaboration in a team become easier. And it is a pretty like it is one company that is known for its work culture. So one famous thing that people know Atlassian for is that they let you work from anywhere in the world. So it's not mandatory for you to go to office. If you want, you can go to office. But if you feel comfortable in working from home, you can work from home. So that's how it is.
Thank you for briefing the viewers about Atlassian and their great work culture and their products. I think people can be aware about it now and apply for future internships. So, how did you, like, apply for Atlassian? Like, What was your journey behind that?
So every year, Girl Script and Atlassian launch this Women in Tech hiring program. So I applied to Atlassian through that only. We like every other like hiring program, there was an online assessment, and after that we had one round of technical interview and one round of
That's
managerial
great.
interview.
So, how what advice would you give to future engineers and especially women to hustle and to take such
There will be
things.
100 people to pull you down and tell you that you do not deserve it. And you know, especially when it comes to women in hiring drives, a lot of people will come to you and tell you that, oh, you got this only because you are a girl, otherwise you wouldn't have got it. That's something that I got to hear multiple times, even in case of my first internship, even when I got this now. So I would like to tell people, like especially the women who are watching this, is that there will be people to pull you down at every step of your life. But when you are presented with an opportunity, grab that opportunity and make it yours. Because once you succeed, people will be talking behind your back, but you will be setting a standard for yourself that they will probably never reach. So just hustle, work hard, and
To push all the negativity down and rise up like a phoenix bird. That's what I feel is throughout their career and life there will be a lot of factors pushing them down, but there are people like you who set an example to us as a community that how we should prioritize things, how we should take up opportunities, how we should step out of our comfort zone. And though there will be occasional burnouts and saturation points, there a time will come where all this will prove to be worth it, and we can get a much closer step to our dreams. So thank you so much.
especially when we are in college, what happens is that a lot of people want to have fun. So when you tell them that, okay, I do not want to have fun because I want to study,
Yeah,
they'll be like, oh, you're such a boring person. Just leave it and just study. No, you're not a boring person for working on your dreams. You're absolutely not. You are like getting immediate success. If you are working hard, that the result will show at one point. And once you succeed, people will not remember your failures. People will not tell you that, oh, he was a boring person. People will say that he worked hard. That's how it will be. And yes, have fun too. College life is not just meant to be, work.
that's
College life is not just meant to be,
Yeah,
work.
that's a
College
very
life is
relatable response. Like the way you said, like when you say you like to work in this and this stuffs, you like to hustle, they often classify you as a boring person because you don't, do the typical other activities. But you can prove that, you can have fun, like you can take your me time, but also do stuff that you want, the stuff that you enjoy. And doing stuff that you enjoy doesn't categorize you as a boring person. Like that's actually a very true response. Like me personally, when I go for IEEE, when I work for IEEE, I often get this like, how can I like work for this? Doesn't it get boring? Doesn't it? But that's a passion that goes behind. Like, and you are one example of such passion. Like how, and like you said, most people once you reach success, they it's the fruits that they focus on, like the fruits that you bear, that the success that you came along with, that they focus on, rather than all the journey that you have pulled along. And we are very grateful for you to share your journey and help so many students across the globe that is watching this to be aware of it, to prepare it, and to motivate them. We thank you so much for sparing your time with us. Thank you so much, Nikita.
Thank you for having me.
So we can wind up this interview. Okay, so I guess That's it. And yeah, that's it. The end of the conversation. But I would like to stay in touch with you.
Sure,
Uh,
definitely.
thank you. Thank you so much, Nikita. So I guess you can leave the meet currently and go on with your tasks.
Sure, sure. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
having me. It was great talking to you.
Same, likewise. I wish we could meet once in like, some other time we would like to organize an event where you can be there present
I
offline as well. And yes, we would like to stay in touch with you for future events like that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inspiring us. Thank you.